Go on.
Okay, with the Hebrew Israelites come out every week, as the scripture says in 2 Timothy chapter 4, okay, verse 2, preach the word in season, out season, okay? Right? So that's our job as evangelists, as prophets, as seers, okay? We're out here to let our people, the so-called blacks, so-called black people, so-called Hispanic Latinos, okay, native Indian people, know who they are according to the Bible, which is Hebrew Israelites. Okay, as Hebrew Israelites, and we come out to let y'all know to repent or die, okay? And we come by the spirit and word of our God, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, okay? Yahweh is the name of the Most High, Yah meaning He, Hawa meaning existing one, okay? Or is to be, and that's the name Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai is the name one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, who for such a long time you thought was an Edomite, a so-called white man. But according to the truth, the Most High, Yahweh has had mercy upon us in these last days to discover that our Messiah is the Messiah for our nation. Okay? And he is a so-called black man, from the tribe of Judah. Okay? And we'd like to give our double honor to the elders of Great Millstone that taught us his truth. And we salute all the brothers out there that are sincere and continually diligent in this ministry. That's correct. Every week we have to be out here, okay? Every week we gotta be out here showing diligence, to make our calling and election sure, all right? The time's gonna come of devastation and destruction, man, okay? And only brothers, okay, and any believing sisters that are covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai are going to be delivered. The Most High is going to provide those brothers and sisters, okay, with a spirit of faith and belief in his name, to the point where we're going to hold fast this truth right to the end, okay? Even in the midst of the nuclear destruction, we're going to maintain our faith, okay? So this is Revelations chapter 14, verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. Okay? On Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. Okay? First and foremost, he said a lamb stood on Mount Zion. The lamb represents Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because Yahweh Shai was that lamb that was to be sacrificed for the sins of our great nation. Okay? As he said, I was sent for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay? I came for them that are lost. Alright? And he was led like a lamb to the slaughter, according to Isaiah, I believe it's 63, if I'm not mistaken, or 53. Alright? And he was sacrificed for the sins of our great nation. to redeem us, to buy us back unto the Most High once and for all. Okay? Having done away with sacrificial sacrifices, he was the ultimate sacrifice. Okay? To bring us back unto the Most High through faith. Okay? And then it said that the Lamb stood on Mount Zion. And okay, the mountain of Zion. The word Zion from the Hebrew to Zion, which means monument. We are the monument of the Most High. And really that's the elect. But it said 140 on 4,000. Okay? That represents the government body of the nation of Israel, man. Okay? That's the government body of all people. Okay? Right? And Yahweh Shai, he's the head of that tabernacle. He's the shepherd of that tabernacle, so to speak. Okay? And we're also the flock of his pasture. Right?
You're trying to do the best you can, but I know it's small. Yeah, let me just put on my phone, my Bible's all tracked now. Can't even feel my hands.
Because you have to understand that whatever we do now is going to determine our salvation or our destruction. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. I personally have been making videos about brothers focusing more on their spiritual job rather than their carnal job. The carnal job is the jobs that, you work on a plantation, Esau's world. Like your 9 to 5, or your self-employed, or your employed job, and you work for Esau. And then you have your spiritual job, which is this. Okay? Which is this job right here. Okay? And brothers need to focus more on that job. I mean, you have to understand that obviously the elders or the apostles, they already stated that every brother is supposed to have a job, okay, to maintain himself while he's living in his present kingdom. However, you're not supposed to allow that job to hinder you pushing this word, man, okay? That's your main priority, is to push this word. Okay? But it's ultimately going to lead to you securing your position in the tabernacle of Dawadah, David, right? Alright? Of you being selected as a part of that number. I mean, you already was a part of that number, but you have to work for that, man. The Most High Spirit got to be on you to fulfill that lot, man. Okay? Wait.
Yeah, this is Revelations 14, chapter 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 140 and 4,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads.
Having the Father's name written in their foreheads. we're gonna have the name of the Most High, our Father. Okay? So that's something that we're gonna gain on this side, which is gonna determine our salvation. That's part of the key to the kingdom. Okay? That name. Go ahead.
And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and of the voice of the great thunder. And I heard the voice of harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth.
Right. So, instead of talking about that new song, that song is talking about this truth. That song is talking about us being delivered from the north country and from the uttermost parts of heaven, the four corners of this earth. Okay, because 3,000 plus years ago, 500 years ago, when we exit Egypt, Marshall or Moses sung the song about us being delivered from Egypt. Okay? I said Deuteronomy chapter 30 or 30, 31 or 32 or 33, one of those chapters there that Moses sang a song, right? Okay? So, alright?
Let me see something, brother.
That's it. Verse 3. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. The four beasts is talking about the four archangels. Okay? Raphael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Michael. Okay? So that's the four archangels. So we're actually gonna make that's gonna be an actual song. We're gonna actually be singing this truth, man. When we're in the chariots. Go ahead.
And it says, and they sung as it were a new song. We're doing it already, brother. Yeah, it says, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth.
Which were redeemed from the earth. The word redeem means to buy back. You can't have any nation up in there, because other nations were never purchased by the Most High to begin with. Okay? The only nation that was originally purchased is the nation of Israel. And the Most High has repurchased us again by the blood of Yahushua. Okay?
These are they which were not found with women, for they are. It says, they were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins.
Right.
So that's not talking about how we will actually be virgins, all right? Because when you look up the term virgin, when you look up the term virgin doesn't apply to a man. And I'm going to explain why. Because medically, right, the medical term for a woman's private part is what? A vagina. Okay, so in order for you to be a virgin, you have to have a what? A vagina, right? So what this is talking about is basically these men wouldn't be defiled with the philosophies of the world or whatever world that they're living in. And you can even read that in the book of in the book of Proverbs, I believe it's the 7th chapter, where it speaks about that. So I just wanted to bring that out, you know, because you got people out there they'll get simple. So I'm gonna read it. It says, "For these are."
We're basically we're prophets, man. Basically. We're here basically trying to tell our people to repent or die, pretty much. Because the Bible, the King James Bible, is the book of our people. The Old Testament and the New Testament. The so-called people, the people in the sand. So-called black people, so-called Hispanic people, Latino, Native American people, or anybody that descends from those people.
My name's Ruben.
Ruben, where country you from?
What?
Where you from?
I'm Armenian with Jewish roots.
Huh?
I'm Armenian but with Jewish roots.
Jewish roots. On your father's side?
Mother.
Or you're Jew according to who your father is?
You're a Jew according to your mother.
Well, that's what they say. But when you go into the Bible, it's all about the seed of man. The seed of your forefathers. That's what determines your nationality. Because your mother is like an incubator. She receives.
It depends what you're looking at. Biblically, yeah, by the Torah, it's the mother. So there's a big debate about that.
How can, because you're a Jew by who your mother is.
I'm not a Jew. It doesn't matter what I am. By the Torah, and it's not, you're Jewish by your mother.
The Torah.
Yeah.
Well, we have the Torah, and there's many verses that give indication that you are of your father.
Right here.
And it makes sense, like, if you put an apple seed into the ground, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be an apple tree. Because another word for like a husband, that's where you're gonna know a husbandry from. And a husbandry sows seed. Exactly. So when a woman says you're my husband, she's basically saying that you're her planter. You're planting your seed inside of her.
Right.
That's what the word husband comes from, or husbandry. Because you're planting your seed inside of her. So the children are yours. It's not hers. They're all of you. Go ahead.
Numbers 1 verse 18, and they assembled all of the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers,
By the house of their fathers.
according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their posts.
Exactly. So that's what it says, your household. Your household meaning your family, your children, your wives, they're all yours. It's your house. You understand? That's why I said they named their pedigrees after the house of their fathers. Not the house of their mothers. That's the Torah. That's the Torah. See, that whole mother business, that goes back to the worship of the vagina or the woman, the queen of heaven. Are you aware of the queen of heaven and that? Yeah. Because this whole society is run by the Jewish, the so-called Jewish.
But there's also a different.
No.
There's a difference between, for example, like tribes of Israel and Hebrew, and for example, Ashkenazi Jews and Zionism. There's a big difference. It's different. So, real tribes of Israel, that has nothing to do with, for example, the Ashkenazi or the
Say that again, the tribes of Israel.
tribes of Israel are far from like to run everything. You know what I mean? From Zionism and everything like that. So
But they call themselves Jewish, though. Like the Rothschilds.
yeah, they do.
They are Jewish.
But they're not. You know.
They're not the real Israelites.
They're not the original Hebrew or Israelites.
Right. We're the original, like the people of West Africa. Or like the Bantu people. Those are the real Israelites.
I mean, it's right.
Those are the real, when you go into the Bible, it gives reference to what the Jews physically look like. They got dark skin, they got melanin, they got woody hair.
Never seen it.
They, like you said, black or Arabic.
No, Arabic looking, because the Arabs, the word
I'm
Arab
not saying
is
the Arab, I'm saying like you even mentioned Latino, Arabic looking.
They can look like Arabs.
they could look somewhat, but there's these people. Okay, now you're not going to see West Indian or Haitian or Dominican in the Bible. You're not going to see that word, those words there in the Bible. Well, according to what the scriptures say, it must give reference to those people. It tells you that the Jews will be put on cargo stations. It tells you that in the Bible.
The Bible also talks about spirit, so even though the original people come from different backgrounds, I also think that the original nationality have their own spirit, so you need somebody from a different.
You from America?
No. But you need somebody from a different country that they can be more spiritually connected to God than some people who claim to be.
Well, it was not really spiritual, it's about physical, like who we actually descended.
Sometimes you need somebody who's descent is completely not connected spiritually.
But you know,
You're right, Dad. You're right, Dad.
They might be descended.
But he's an atheist.
Or he might be doing much more wrong than some guy you might see on the street. He might be really connected to God, and he might be healing or helping somebody.
Yeah. Well, we're talking right now at this moment.
Spiritual warfare, right? So,
Right, at the moment, we're trying to identify who the Jews are there, because you got a bunch of people running around saying that they're Jewish or Israelis. Okay, well, when you go to the Bible, it doesn't add up.
So this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So you're aware of the Jews or the Israelites being put in Egyptian captivity. You're aware of that, right? So he said we're going to be brought into Egypt again by ships.
By the whereof I speak unto thee, and thou shalt see it no more again.
So that way that the Most High speak unto us, we're not going to see that way no more again, talking about the land of Israel, the promised land. That way we're not going to see it no more again, meaning we're going to be dispersed.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall save you.
Right, so we were put on cargo ships and sold for bondmen and bondwomen. So no man will be able to redeem us or buy us. So now, if you look in history, what people were put on ships and set sail to another continent and sold, both one man and one woman. That's us, the so-called blacks. Okay? Now, go to verse 48.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 68, verse 48.
Now this is the Deuteronomy 28, going to the curses. The curses that were before the Israelites for disobeying God's commandments. Okay? So, we're about to read it right now.
Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Right, so it said we're going to have to serve our enemies who the Lord will send against us. Because Esau, the so-called white man, they came from one side of the earth to the West African continent and took us as slaves. Okay? So the Most High sent him against us and he removed us into the uttermost part of heaven, which is the Americas. Okay? And then we had to serve him in the want of all things, in nakedness and in thirst. Because we go to Esau for everything. Alright? Because Esau pretty much conquered pretty much the whole world on lockdown. So now he's got the resources. Alright? But the thing is now he took the resources from everybody, but he's kind of deceived everybody into thinking that we need him. But really he's the one that needs us. Okay? And in the want of all things, and I said he will put a yoke of iron upon our neck. Did he not do that in our slavery?
Well, that was here.
Really it was there physically.
Physically,
Now it's there, but physically it was there.
Well,
If you type in yoke of iron on Google Images, the first thing you're going to see is black people with yokes of iron on their neck. So the curses is real, and we're going to read it some more. But
the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, and as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance shall not regard the person of the old, nor shall give it to the young.
right, so I mean, this so-called white man, we didn't understand his tongue. It's language. You mean? We don't understand what he's talking about. And there's a thing where he forced us into understanding his language to the point where it was forbidden for us to even speak our own language. When we got to the Americas, he beat that Hebrew Israelite out of us, man. Like when you watch that movie on Roots, Kunta Kinte, he wanted to profess himself as being a so-called African man, right? He was an Israelite, but he wanted to profess himself as being like a Kunta Kinte, and they said, no, your name's Toby. So they wanted to beat their language into us to make us forget our own selves.
Did you watch the some movie called Black Panther? Black Panther?
Yeah.
You said? You guys watch that?
Yeah.
Black Panther?
Yeah.
Black Panther just in the revolution.
So they get sir?
The movie.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
I don't know if you watched it.
Yeah, I watched it. It's alright.
I mean, they go off on certain things.
No, but there's
Because what they, I don't mean to cut you, and the reason why I say they're going up because what they're trying to say is that they're trying to, because see what's happening is, right, they know that the shoot's getting out there, right? And they know the powers that be, they know that we're the real Jews, but they want to try and bring our people back to that African nonsense. That black African nonsense, but we're not African. We're Hebrews. We were Hebrews that were trapped in Africa, that went into Africa, fleeing from the persecution.
I was going to say in the movie when the guy took the whip. The guys, the bad guys, they got Hebrew on their lips.
I didn't see the film. I saw the film. So.
Okay. They go what? They go Hebrew.
When people out there live, they got like.
Yeah.
It's actually Hebrew. It looks like Hebrew.
Alright.
They're actually tribe of Israel, but they said the guy, Michael B. Jordan, their main American guy, he got tribe of Judah. They portray him as the bad guy. The Africans are portrayed as the good guys. Whereas the American black people,
Well, like I said,
they're portrayed as like the bad guys.
well, these movie directors, they know the truth. They know that the people who they know that the people that they had in slavery are the people of the Bible. And what they want to do is they want to block that. They spent billions or millions of dollars worth of money or pounds worth of money to hide this truth from us, destroying our identity in the school systems, in the media. Okay. There's a big scheme to try and hide this from us.
But what now? That's my question.
That's why we're out here. Out here to let our people know, listen. Because right now our Messiah, the one who people ignorantly call Jesus Christ, he's gonna come back. I mean, we're gonna go into it. We don't sure. We don't.
And that's one thing with the so-called Jews, they don't believe in Jesus Christ.
Because the so-called white man, he thinks he's gonna rule forever. But he's not going to.
Yeah, this is verse 50. A nation of fierce continents, which shall not regard the persons of the old, nor show favor to the young. Alright?
The white man didn't give a fuck about if you're old or, in fact, if you're old, he throw you over the side of the ship. You was worth less. You was worth more if you were younger.
But one of the tricks now, I find, spiritually, is to divide us.
Yeah.
So, from the top down, one of the main things is to make rich versus poor, black versus white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the one thing that's regardless of everything is a soul. And everyone's got a soul. And everyone comes from source, right? Right?
But can I interject though?
Huh?
I want to interject what you're saying, right? Because you gotta understand is that all of the peoples around the earth, they always were divided anyway from day dot. But you're right on one thing, the media perpetuates that dividance. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the problem is the fact that basically the nation of Esau pretty much took down these people. Which is the wrong people took down. Okay? They set themselves in the exaltation of power. Alright? Because the reason why we was taken down as well, as we just read, is because we went off against our Heavenly Father. That's why we went down, and this is why we're looked as a dangerous stock in the eyes of the world. You know? and that kind of sort of thing. But the point of the matter is, as I just read in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 68, it says that no man shall buy you, meaning a man that's of the flesh. Okay, like regular men like me, you know, all of us. But there's going to be a man on the earth, such as who you call Jesus Christ. That's why he's going to come back the second time to deliver the children of Israel out of this modern day captivity.
Well,
That's why he's coming back.
but there's also going to be these false prophets, so it's going to be up to the people to determine whether the real one or a false prophet.
Yeah, well, the point is that
The Antichrist, as they're going to call it.
well, there's many there isn't this one antichrist.
No,
An antichrist is anybody that's against pretty much the Bible. That's the antichrist. If you're against the volume of this book, you're against the volume of this book.
No, I wouldn't say that. Native Americans are against the volume of the book. A lot
If they're against the truth of this book.
No, but they don't abide by it. A lot of indigenous and tribal people, they don't abide by the Bible.
Like if you preach to them Yahweh Shai and they don't accept that, then they're antichrist. That's the spirit of it. There is.
I don't believe that. No, well, I get where you're coming from, but I think those people sometimes are more spiritually connected than people who follow the Bible.
Yeah, but they're not with the truth of this book.
But they're with another truth. You know,
There's no such thing as two different truths. There's only one truth.
They live in peace, connected to nature, and
But when the Messiah,
who are they worshiping?
who they worship.
Yeah.
They believe in nature, they believe in creator. Same as the book. They don't follow the same.
What's his name?
They call him grandfather or father, God, Allah. It's the same thing. The source is one.
Not the same thing. It's not the same thing. How many names can one entity have? He has one name.
We all give him different names. That's the thing. And that's why we all keep fighting.
That's disrespect. How can you give
I'm not
the
giving-
Most High already given his name? How can you therefore call him something else?
I'm not.
And then say that's alright?
I'm not giving them a different name, but I don't think it makes people entirely evil because they don't want to constantly believe.
I'm saying if we teach them the truth of this book and they don't receive that, then that's the spirit of Antichrist.
I don't think that's true. But you realize that what you're saying is exactly how partially missionaries work.
But that's them.
Yeah, but that's what they did. They came to Native Americans and they said, accept the Bible, and if you don't, then you're
yeah, because what you gotta understand, the so-called white man, what he did was he used the Bible for his own benefit. Doesn't mean that the Bible is untrue. He just used the Bible to mistake those people. Like what he did to Martin.
True, but the same argument is used when Native Americans rejected it. They don't believe it in this way, and
Right.
Native Americans in our way. They were
No, but
told,
Yeah, but that's the reason why they got destroyed in the first place.
no, that's not why.
That's the reason why they got conquered, is because they were doing the shit that they're doing now.
Yeah.
And that's why they're still in the position they're in now, because that's not the way of their ancestors.
Nah, I mean, I don't think that's what it is. They got away from their own previously, and I think people like that people just came in and
You have to understand the Native Indians, they're of all people.
They're Israelites.
They're Israelites also.
well, they're connected cosmically, whatever.
I'm trying to tell you that they're Israelites. That when Christopher Columbus, and he came over to the Americas, he came with 3 Hebrew translators. Because he knew that the people that were living in those lands were Hebrews. So maybe you got truth in it.
They didn't have Bibles, that's how I know that for sure.
They knew about the Apocrypha, Christopher Columbus, they knew about Esdras.
Yeah, maybe, but they knew it in a different way. They didn't do it through the Bible.
He knew that he knew that people were living there, and he knew that the people that living there were Hebrews. Christopher Columbus knew that.
Yeah, well, he also knew that there was land there, which is what he was after.
Yeah, but the point is, I'm trying to say the reason why those so-called Native Indian people are suffering the way they are is because of what they're doing. They're the people of the Bible.
No, you're partially, I agree with it, but that's not, I don't think you can equate everything. They're also suffering because of what Americans did to them.
Yeah, but you gotta,
But y'all already told you the Most High sent the so-called white man against them to destroy them because of their acts.
No, but that's not
brother,
always
can I interject?